Hey everyone, how are you? Rashida Omalade Sule. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure that you have subscribed to our channel. You are a part of my family. Yes. I hope I'm not too low. Okay. That you are a part of our family. And if you're watching me on Elite Creators Academy, how y'all's doing? I hope everyone is doing their work. We have a couple more days left in order for September to be over. I'll call it a couple more days because after you look at 2 weeks, it's done. And then if you're watching me on my business page on Facebook, hey, how you doing, girl? Yes. Oh my God. I'm busy looking up because I read my meditations, right? I read my meditation. I look at what my goals are, and I get so excited because I'm expectant, which is the law of assumption. If you made a copy of the 7 natural laws that I was telling you about, law of assumption, which if you don't understand that law of assumption, look at it this way as the law of expectation. When you ask for something, you are expecting. So, like I said, I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Rashida Malade Sule, and I'm a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people, and there's a whole lot of good things. If you're watching me on my YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you also hit the like, and make sure you hit the notification. So whenever I'm coming up, you will be one of the first people to get it. Today, we are still on our book. I don't know if many of you got it, but you need to get it. This channel is, even though it's called Married Let's Talk, right? It's going to be changing soon. Why? Because it's not only for married people. And when I say that, my people on YouTube, it's not only for married people. I think we all need to know what's causing us to remain the same, what's causing us to be where we are right now, and what's not allowing us to flourish and move forward. Because when I heard from my mentor, Bob Proctor, that what you are experiencing in your life right now is your own handwork, is what you are causing for yourself. Let me make sure that if you're on here, please let me know if you hear me clearly, because I know the last time I was going on, and for about a few, like maybe a minute or two, nobody really heard what I was saying. So let me just check that real quick. Make sure you guys are hearing me. Testing, testing, testing. Because I refuse to be on here talking and having a whole conversation and y'all not hearing me. Let me see that. Okay. Okay. Ooh. That. Okay, got it. Got it. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? Okay, cool. So today we're going to be treating persistence. Today in your book, we're going to be treating persistence. Let me tell you all something. There's people like me who cares about other people, who want other people to succeed, who just have this thing in them that they want to be a blessing to people. There's a lot of people out there like that. But you also have to want the information that you're being given. It's by choice. You don't have to. You don't have to want any of this. You really don't have to. It's not by force, yeah? And it's not our job to force anybody to be anything. But it's good for you to know that the person who created you wants you to be blessed, wants you to live in abundance. The Creator wants you to be blessed, wants you to live in abundance, not in poverty, not in lack. This world is so full of abundance. So you sitting down, writing down, what exactly do you want in your life? What is it exactly that you want? I was listening to what's his name this morning? How can I forget his name? He done some crazy, crazy shows with me growing up. I know I'll get his name before I end the show. Yeah, I'll get his name before I end the show. And he was saying the world, the universe is waiting for you. The universe is waiting for you to say what you want. Not just say what you want, continue to say what you want until you get that which you want. I was listening to Oprah the other day as well, and she said some things that were just so profound. She said, there is no fulfilled life without the source. There is no fulfilled life without God. There's no fulfilled life without the infinite. There's no fulfilled life. There's no way that you can fulfill anything without using the power that's already in you. But if you choose not to use the power, you have that choice as well. But for those who are interested in doing more, in doing exceedingly abundantly, more than you can ever think or imagine, if you're that person, then you're the one I'm talking to today. Okay? You're the one I'm talking to today. Because a lot of time we will say, oh, there's no, all the excuses that we tell ourselves. And I think I read a lot of that last week. I read a lot of that. If not last week, then it must have been Monday. I read a lot of that. The excuses that we give ourselves. No one is saying it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. But do you know what makes it hard? Do you know what makes it hard? Do you know what makes it hard? It's you. A lot of people have been so stuck in their ways. 20, 30, 40, 50 years stuck in our ways of doing things. And we continue to do the same old thing over and over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, we're back to square one. You look at yourself, you're like in your 50s, your 60s, and you're looking back, blaming God. When he has nothing to do with it. He's giving you everything that you need to be all that you want to be in this life. To be all that you want to be in this life. If you want to be a teacher, but you want to be an astounding, great teacher, you have the power. If you want to be a pilot, and you want to be a pilot that ends up in the World Guinness Book record, you got the power. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, who's going to be a renowned, known entrepreneur, you have that power. But what do you want? What you want? And it's so surprising to me that in these past couple of months that I've been doing this, when you ask people what they want, they really don't know. They really don't know. They think about it like, oh, Rashida, I really wasn't prepared for this question. Or some of them would just throw out random, I want to be a nurse. Do you want to be a nurse because that's what you enjoy doing? What exactly do you enjoy? as a nurse? Oh, well, I just want to be a nurse because, I feel like there's security in being a nurse. Who told you there's no security in anything else? Security. Only God gives security. All right. So when I have them go deeper into when you were a child, growing up, what did you like to do? What are the things that you love to do? What are the things that made you happy? As a son, as a daughter, what made you happy? What did you want in your life? I know a lot of my people, Nigeria, they grow up, and depending on where they grow up, will determine what it is exactly they want. Some of them, they grew up in a place where there was lack, and maybe they see a nice car come into their neighborhood, and they see, all these rich people, and that just, or they see all these rich people, then they're like, I want to be rich. I want to have a lot of money, so I can look as good as they look. And that's what they want. How they're going to get there, a lot of times they don't even know. And whatever it takes to get there, they will do. And let's say, and another one is, I remember when I first went to Nigeria, and I like the village better, guys. I really do like the village better. But then now it's no longer a village; it's a whole huge town. It's jam packed. So when I went there, what I noticed about a lot of people that were there was that when people came from, we call it Iloibo, when people came from maybe America, they came from London, everybody's rushing and, oh my gosh, he's here. So that rush of being celebrated, like, oh my God, you come out the car, everybody jumping on you. Oh my goodness. That's the reason why a lot of my peeps here, when they love to go back home once, twice, 3 times a year, because that's when they get all the celebration that they really want. That's how, because they're here, they work so hard, they work fearlessly. If one job ain't enough, they get 2, 3 jobs. They will cramp themselves up in a studio, 1-bedroom apartment, cramp themselves up, make little payments, spread the payments, so that either once or twice or 3 times a year, they can go back home. And once they go back home, the whole family celebrates them. That's to say that people like to be celebrated. People love to be celebrated. They love to be celebrated. And I would look, and a lot of people would be like, oh my God, when I grow up, I want to go to Loibo. I want to go to America. That's what I want. I want to go to America. That's what a lot of people want. Only because of their environment, where they grew up, and what they see growing up. But they don't know that there's so much more to life. So much more to life than just coming to America or coming to London or coming to Ireland. So much more. All right, let me get right to it. So from this book of Think and Grow Rich, please, if you haven't gotten your copy, get your copy. Get your copy. It's not only this that's going to, if you really take it like Bob Proctor took it, and turn this thing, you take this thing, you take the Bible, take those 2 things, or you take this and you take your Quran, take those 2 things, and really, really horn in on it. I promise you, it was truly what you want is to be successful in whatever it is that you want to be successful in. Even if you're a businesswoman, you sell goods, you have products. How far do you want to take it? Do you want to one day be a Bloomingdale? Do you want to one day be Neiman Marcus? Do you want to one day be maybe Macy's? not just sit down in a corner store just selling things. Because what happened is that if it's not big enough, if your goals are not big enough, it just may not come to may not come to pass. You know why? Because a lot of times you get tired. A lot of times you get discouraged. That's why you need a group. You need a village with you. And that's what I want to build, is a village. A village of people. We're there, we're helping each other. I'm helping some people. They're also helping some people. They're also helping some people. Can you imagine what our world would be? We're now living in a world where it's not about, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a lawyer. It's not that world anymore. Bloggers are making more than doctors with peace and serenity. YouTubers are making more than doctors. So you can make money in whatever it is that you want. One person I was speaking to, she said she wants to open up something like a YMCA, where children in her community can actually come and after school and have a good time, be able to just learn about, what they want to be in life, learn about being anything, learn that you are a superwoman, a superman. There's a superwoman, superman living inside of you. That was like the ultimate to me. I was like, what? That's like literally the only one answer that I got that made sense from asking people, what do you want to be? Everybody else was just tailored to IT, nurse, which I know that's not really what they want to be, but what they think they want to be. Okay, so in this book, I'm going to read just a couple of pages. I was on persistence, and persistence, there's certain things that I want, it's a lot of information, but certain things that I want to share with y'all. It says, your subconscious mind that we talk about, we say subconscious and conscious. Your subconscious mind works continuously while you are awake and while you are asleep. So you are always manifesting something. You are always putting a seed in the ground. Whenever you think of something, you're putting a seed in the ground. So when that seed gets in the ground, it's going to grow. What you just thought may not happen. Some may happen immediately. Some may take some time. Some may take weeks. Some may take, months. But what you just imagined, you just manifested. So being that your subconscious is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, this is why I'm asking that when you have your goals, let your goals be in front of you. Listen throughout the day to amazing, amazing music of praise, music of worship, things that's going to make you happy. Listen to those things. Listen to those things throughout the day. And then read your goals at night again, or that which you want to be when you get in your bed, think of it. Think of it throughout the night. And while you're sleeping, most times you'll automatically fall into like a dream state. And you begin to see yourself doing that thing which you really want to do. And when you get up in the morning, say thank you. Thank you. And then say your goals again, which is what you want in your life. Continue with that. And I promise you, you'll see what happens. But it says poverty. poverty. And poverty doesn't necessarily have to be that you don't have any money. You could be rich, but you have a poverty mindset. You know, have you seen a lot of, you know, people, they have money, but when they talk, you be like, did you just say that? There's a lot of people like that. Poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it. This is page 220. Poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it, as money is attracted to him whose mind has been deliberately prepared to attract it. If your mind is deliberately ready to attract money, you will attract it. Money is an attraction. We've been wired to think that we have to work so hard for money. If one job is not good, then 2 jobs, then 3 jobs. What you work hard for, let me tell you what you work hard for. What you work hard for is that which you really want to come into fruition. And what now happens is that you continue, because that thing that you want so badly, as you are going after it, your mind is changing. Who you are is changing. Your body posture is changing. Everything is changing. Because you have to have certain qualities. You have to have certain habits to get to a place of success. And as you're wanting that thing bad enough, you're reading, you're learning, you're taking more in, you are more persistent than ever. You are changing. And to change is not easy. That's what makes it hard. That's what makes it hard. When you're now at the age of 50 something and you really want this, and they're telling you that you can have that, but certain things have to change. You can have it, but certain things just have to change. And that certain things not by anybody. No one can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. It's like a butterfly. Who wants to come out of that? I don't know if it's cocoon. I don't know. Who wants to break out? You know, the butterfly is like it's first of all like a lava. It's a lava. Anyway, I figured that stuff out. I'll get that stuff for y'all later. Oh, I remember the name of the guy, Jim Carrey. Many of you guys know Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, like I've never physically known the guy to be a normal guy. I've always seen him as this funny, crazy guy, Jim Carrey. And today I saw him actually speaking normally. And he said, the universe is waiting for you to tell them what you want. The universe is waiting for you. But you don't say anything. You don't say anything. You're going by what someone else is doing and they're making 60,000, 70,000, 50,000. And it's like, oh my God, I want to do that too. But for you to really sit down and really, really, really think about what would make me happy? What would really make me happy? How much do I need to do what will really make me happy? I'm going to go back into this again. It says, poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it, as money is attracted to him whose mind has been deliberately prepared to attract it, and through the same laws. Poverty consciousness will voluntarily seize the mind which is not occupied with the money consciousness. Did you hear that? So a person, you're thinking poverty because your mind is not occupied with money consciousness yet. If your mind is occupied with money consciousness, then what's going to happen is poverty won't be able to slide in. But the reason why poverty slide in, because ain't nothing in your head. Ain't nothing in there. There's space. There's a space in there for poverty thinking to come in. And that's why that happens. That's why that happens. It says a poverty consciousness develops without you even knowing it. A poverty consciousness develops without conscious application of habits favorable to it. The money consciousness must be created to order. A money consciousness must be created to order unless one is born with such a consciousness already. How are some people born with money mindset already? Many of them are already born into money. But if you're not born into money consciousness already, and you're trying to really, really have this attract money, then you better listen up. You better listen up. Listen up. So I'm done with that. And then the other one that I wanted to read for you all. So get into the persistence, get into reading this book. And if you're not on persistence yet, just continue to read where you are. I don't want you jumping around. I want you to read where you are. I want you to, start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. This is another one that I wanted to tell you. So the first one I wanted to tell you is that poverty comes from the mindset. So you are in poverty, not because you're thinking poverty, but because you're not attracting money. You're not attracting money. You're not saying what you want in life. You're not saying what you want to be in life. And you can't just sit down and say, money, come to me. Money, come to me. Yeah, money can come to you. You go right there and you probably find a penny on the floor. That's money. You probably open up your drawer and find money there. That's money. Money, come to me. That's money. So that's why in order to be able to really help you, stay connected until the end of September. Stay connected. Stay in there. Stay in this thing. Let's do this thing together. In the midst of it, you will be noticing little things that are happening for you. Little things that are being manifested. And you're like, can this be a part of what we're doing? Yeah. You will manifest little things. But the big things that you need to really manifest in order for you to get to where you're going, in order for you to know who you are truly, if you don't stay in this with us for till the end, you may just miss it. You may just miss it. So it says, verily it pays to be persistent. Verily it pays to be persistent. Okay. And here is an encouraging statement which carries with it a suggestion of great significance. Thousands of singers. Let me tell you. Thousands of singers. I like this illustration because I remember when I was younger and they used to have Broadway shows, and it's like, if you're on Broadway, you made it. If you made it to Broadway, you done made it. Okay. So, and I was too young. I'm like, what they do on Broadway? They act, musicals and all of that. But when I was younger, I really didn't know. I just knew that if you made it to Broadway, if you made it to, on Broadway, you made it. So it says, thousands of singers who excel, Kate Smith, are walking up and down Broadway looking for a break. They're walking down Broadway looking for a break, yeah, without success. Countless others have come and gone. Many of them sang well enough, but they failed to make the grade because they lacked the courage to keep on keeping on. until Broadway became tired of turning them away. Did you hear that? Whatever your dream is, whatever that is that you want to do, that makes you happy to your soul, be persistent. Keep at it. Write it down. Be persistent. It said that Broadway took the people that were persistent. They would not give up. They kept showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up until Broadway got tired. Like, come on, just come on. Let's come on in. Let's put you as an extra. Come act as an extra. Just, who if I see that boy at the door again? They were persistent. Whereas other people that weren't persistent, they just left. I read stories of some people that were sleeping. They were sleeping in the streets of Broadway because they were like, you know what? I got the talent. And they're saying here, even if they couldn't even sing well enough, they sung well enough to get in. They didn't sing like Beyonce or nothing, but they sung well enough and they just got them in. That was persistent. Never stop going after what you believe. When I figured out that I had talent, when I figured out that, oh my God, Rashida, something about you. Yeah? I didn't have anyone to tell me, oh, you can make this happen. You can do this. You can. I think when I got married, and my husband told me, he says, you know, you're one of those people that can do anything that you put your mind to. Whatever it is that you focus on, you can do. I looked at him like, but you can do the same thing. You know, but he says, he knows, but there's something about you. And I'm going to tell you all, there's something about you. This is for you. There's something about you that is greater than the you that you're putting out there. So you need to go within yourself to bring out that greatness that's already a part of you. And allow that greatness, listen to that voice, allow that greatness to rule your world. Allow it. Because the moment you allow it is when you begin to see greatness. But you have to be so persistent to get it out. Why? Because you've made it so dormant for so long. It's always been in you. You just never cared for it. Every now and then you hear a voice tell you, do this, you do it. But then later on, when you hang with your friends and your friends tell you this, that, and the third, and it's like, you know what? All right, I'm going to do what y'all said. And you're no longer listening to that voice that's within you. How do you think Oprah became so successful? And she says it. She has voices. They talk to her. They talk to her because she's allowed that voice to talk to her from when she was a child. When her grandmother told her, Oprah girl, you know, when you grow up, I hope you get, you know, her grandmother's prayer for her was to be in a home, to get a family that'll be good enough to her when she becomes their maid. Wow. That's as far as grandma knew it to be. That's as far as grandma knew it to be. That was the ultimate. That was how far. Grandma didn't see her being no talk show host who is now a billionaire. Oprah girl is worth 2-point-something billion. Not because she's ever even looked at being a billionaire. But one thing she's always known is that she's going to be successful no matter what. She would not. She said when her grandmother told her that one of these days when you become a maid, all I want for you is to have a family that's gonna treat you good. She said in her mind, she don't even know what she said, that ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna be no maid. I ain't gonna be no maid. She was a child. Many of us see people enjoying life. Jet planes all over the place, private jet planes, doing what they want to do when they want to do it. And you just never think that it can happen to you? Of course it can. That could be your life. Even if it wasn't your mother, your father, your grandmother, that's their life. You're getting information now. They weren't privileged to this information. The information that my parents were privileged to when they came to America back in them days was get your education. And that's what they came for. They got their education. They got their degrees. My parents went to Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn. They got their degrees. And when they got the degree, they got a job. Oh my God. She got a job. He got a job. Wow. Now they got money. And the rest was take care of your family. Make sure your children also go to school and also, do what you do. Get a job, get a job, go to college. And my parents literally had their graduation picture huge. It was big. It was gigantic. It was no small picture. It was like on a wall, huge. Mom, dad, graduation picture. You better not do less than this. That's what they knew. That's what they knew. Doesn't mean that everybody have to go to school. Doesn't mean that you cannot be successful without going to school. But that's what they knew. That's what we grew up in. So we all got our bachelors. And then mommy got her master's, then master's. Doesn't mean that you became any richer. You got it. Just in case there's opportunities that you want or something you can fall back on, you got it. But I'm telling you, if you're watching me and you're hearing the sound of my voice, and you don't have an education, it's not education. It's not, maybe not say not education. It's not going to college that's going to make you successful. I know they say things like Bill Gates, he ain't finished college. True. So it's not college. It's what do you want? What do you want? So right or wrong, many of them sang well enough, but they failed to make the grade because they lacked the courage to keep on keeping on until Broadway became tired of turning them away. Persistence is a state of mind. Persistence is a state of mind. Therefore, it can be cultivated. It could be cultivated, meaning that you can learn it. You can begin to grow it now. You can plant that seed, water it every day, every day, every day. Even if you don't see what you want to see, even if you don't see it coming live to you, just believe it. Just believe it. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Law of assumption, which is law of expectancy. It's coming. Like all states of mind, persistence is based upon definite causes. Among these causes are definiteness of purpose. Knowing what one wants is the first and perhaps the most important step toward the development of persistence. A lot of people don't know what they want. I want to be rich. I want to have a lot of money. So what should we do? Let's go here. Let's do that. And then they get there and it doesn't work. And then they get here and because that's not, I want a lot of money. Yeah, okay. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I don't know what I want to do. But this person made a whole lot of money from stocks. So I'm gonna go in there and and you have to does it go with your spirit? Does it harmonizes? Does it harmonize with who you are? Because if that's not really what you want to do, if that's not where you really find joy, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start, you put your money in there, you may lose a lot, you may not lose in the beginning, whatever. But the thing is, it's not truly what makes you happy. I remember growing up, they used to say, oh no, don't do your passion. Forget your passion. Passion will not pay you. Passion will not pay you. That was their time. Passion is paying you. If you know what you're good at and you do it and you continually do it, ain't got no choice but to make way. Ain't got no choice but somebody to discover you one day and boom, here you are. Don't listen to what anyone is saying. If you have something that you love to do, find it. Are you a giver, but you ain't got much to give? Yes, you do. If you're a giver and you love to give gifts and you love to, and maybe one day you want to open up a charity, or one day you want to build a shelter, you want to do this, that, and the third, there's things for you to start doing now. First thing is write down that goal. That's the first thing. Write it down. Do you know everything that you write down come to pass? I would tell people to write them something down. They'd be thinking I'm joking. Because I've heard it so much before and I never did it. The only thing I've ever written down, really, to tell you the truth, like that I stayed consistent, like my journal. And I think I was in my early 20s. And I would write down prayers. I would write down people's names in order to pray for them. And I tell you, this day, it was so scary. But it woke something up in me. I wrote down, I had this uncle who was having issues. His wife wasn't able to come, from Nigeria and all of this. He was a real nice guy, amazing guy. He was an amazing uncle. I wrote down, I said, God, Uncle so-and-so is asking for so-and-so. I want you to open up doors for him. I want you to bless him. I want you to. And then I wrote down certain things that I wanted, get married, have kids, do all that. I wrote all of that down. One day, and a lot of you know, one day, it was so crazy. And Uncle Fred, he says, Rashid, I want to thank you. He said, because the Spirit says that you're praying for me. How in the world I am in my own space, doing my own thing? He said, the Spirit says that you're praying for me. And when the wife when she came, check. That was a checklist. That was, I put that to the side. Everything else. And let me tell you, even though I wrote down marriage and all of that for myself, and those things came through, there were certain things that were done that I did in between. You don't just write it down and not mentally put action to it, not physically put feeling to it. So if you are ready, I tell you, be a part of our village. Be a part of what we do. Listen to what is being said. Try it. And I promise you it'll work for you. A strong motive force, one to surmount many difficulties. So the first one is definiteness of purpose. And the reason why I'm reading this is because I forgot again to tell you all, there's some people that can't get this. They're in another country, they can't get this book. They said, Rashida, it's not going to get to them before we finish the 30 days in September. So that's why I take some things out and I work with them in order to be able to get them to where they want. The second is desire. So the first one is definiteness of purpose. I don't want to ask you, what is your purpose? Because forget that. I know a lot of people don't know, they don't know what their purpose is. Forget. What do you want to do? What do you like to do? What's going to make you happy? That's what do you not get tired of? Like you can continue to do, and you're not going to get tired of it. You just love doing it. Or what would you like to do for humanity? Because who you are, if you don't get into that space of who you are and that what you're supposed to do, the world is lacking you. The world is lacking your gifts. You're supposed to be giving that gift to somebody. Somebody is supposed to be hearing you. You're supposed to be teaching somebody something. But you have not gotten into who you are in order for them to get what. Oh, Lord, yeah. It's so good when you feel it. Just feel it go down. So refreshing. Oh, Lord. That's not the water I would usually drink, but hey, that's what's available. Thanks, honey. Desire. So the first thing is, what do you want to do in life? What would you like to give to humanity? What would you like to bless people with? What is it that you have? It can be quirky, it can be nerdy, it can be anything. What is it? Let's talk about it. Yeah. The second is desire. It is comparatively easy to acquire and to maintain persistence in pursuing the object of intense desire. So once you figured out that which you want, then let it have a burning desire in you. Regardless of what, you're going to get this and go after it. Go after it like your life depends on it. Third is self-reliance. Believe in one's ability to carry out a plan. Encourages one to follow the plan through with persistence. Self-reliance can be developed through the principle described in autosuggestion. Did you hear that? So self-reliance, you can get that through doing autosuggestion. Autosuggestion, I think that's the third one. It's actually the fourth. Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is on page, I love autosuggestion. I do it all the time, 81. So autosuggestion is something that maybe they've told you. Autosuggestion is like your affirmations. So maybe somebody told you, oh, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough, or because maybe you don't believe that you could be wealthy, you don't believe that you could get that position. You now do affirmation that you can. And you begin to speak those affirmations every day, all day, until your mind begin to auto-suggest it. Until your mind begin to consistently auto-suggest it. I'm kind, I'm beautiful, I'm passionate, I'm a leader. I'm powerful. I'm disciplined. I'm consistent. Many of you need to write down, affirmations. Write down 50 of it. You cannot believe. I write it down. The moment, you see, we call it the devil. We call it the enemy. And it is the enemy. The enemy is that thing that's in your mind that does not want you to be successful. That voice that tells you, don't worry about it, do something else. That's too hard. It want to protect you, but it's really not protecting you. What it's doing is it's putting you in a poverty situation, not to jump forth, not to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. So when you call yourself a successful entrepreneur who is making multi-million dollars, helping other people to transform their life, helping other people to transform your life. When you say, I am a wealthy, abundant female business entrepreneur, and something in your head said, but your bank account says $0. You know what I want you to say to that? I reject that. Because the thing is, you're not looking at the physical, you're going into the spiritual. You ain't got time for that. You reject that. You can say whatever you want to say, but that account will be saying millions pretty soon. Pretty soon, I'll be looking at 3 million, 5 million, 10 million in my account. Don't worry about that. God supplies all of your needs according to his riches and glory. You can say, I'm disciplined, I'm respected, I'm happy, I'm organized, I'm very friendly, I'm rich. You know, I'm a great listener. Whatever it is that you are lacking, that you think or know that you're lacking, you write that thing down and you make yourself auto believe it. But you got to say it often enough. So the next thing is definiteness of plans. Definiteness of plan. You have to have a definite plan. Organized plans, even though they may be weak and entirely impractical, encourage persistence. Continue to move on. Continue to move on. A lot of times, the plan of what you're going to do is going to come to you. You ain't got to worry about how. Don't worry about it. It's going to come to you. And another one is cooperation, sympathy, understanding, harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. Meaning, this is where masterminds come in. Everybody want to do their own thing. There's nothing that you're doing today that is new. Ain't nothing new under the earth. Nothing. There's nothing new. So get yourself in a village. Get yourself in a group. Get yourself in a place where people will encourage you. When it seems as if you're about to get tired, you don't want to do it no more, somebody would rise up and encourage you. Some people preach, well, ain't nobody encourage you, you encourage yourself. Yeah, well, I'm encouraging you to encourage yourself to get into a group that they will encourage you more. Yeah, that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Do that. You need to be in the midst of people that celebrate where you're going. That's the problem that we have, is so many of us are so into what other people are saying about us. Criticism. You know, how people are criticizing you. It says, let us examine some of the symptoms of the fear of criticism. The majority of people permit relatives, friends, and the public at large to so influence them that they cannot live their own lives because they fear criticism. Huge numbers of people make mistakes in marriage, stand by the bargain, and go through life miserable and unhappy because they fear criticism. which may follow if they correct the mistake. Anyone who has submitted to this awful form of fear knows the irreparable damage it does by destroying ambition, self-reliance, and the desire to achieve anything. There's something that my husband's saying, you know what? It's so doggone true. He says, when you miss it in marriage the first time, Lord have mercy. It's going to take a whole lot to not miss it again. Because look at this book. This book has been written 1920 something. Let me see again. I think I said it the other day. Things that are not true, thing to me. I don't keep those things in my head, but it's been written a long time. Yeah. Andrew Carnegie was from 1919. So Andrew Carnegie is the one that told Napoleon Hill to write this book. So obviously he told him to write it before 1919. He told him to write it before he died, before Carnegie died. And Napoleon Hill has brought this book out since then. Some people didn't have it. They read it and throw it to the wayside. Like, it ain't nothing. And some people took this book and turned this book into their doggone Bible. And they have everything that they will ever want in life. What we call a marriage is something that once you've gotten yourself into that situation, you rush into marriage. Those people that you don't want them to make fun of you anymore because, oh my God, I'm 40, I ain't married yet. I'm 45, I ain't married yet. Then you jump into something that you, oh Lord, thinking this is gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. Who are you to make anything work? You can't even make your own. You can't even make your own doggone decision. You allow people to push you into getting married because everybody said, "Oh, you're getting too old." I think marriage is easy. Marriage is two different personalities from two different backgrounds coming together, trying to see if they can make this thing work. It's a partnership. The biggest thing you need in marriage is respect. And if you can't respect yourself, how are you going to respect somebody else and how you expect them to respect you? You don't love yourself. But you think when I'm with somebody else, he gonna love me. Maybe he gonna teach me how to love me. It don't work. It does not work. Learn who you are first. Love yourself first. Know what you like and you don't like. Don't let nobody push you into something that you're not or you're not ready for. Because it takes work. You hear me? This book was written before even some of our parents were born. And it says, don't allow the fear of criticism. People criticizing you, family members, friends criticizing you to push you into something called marriage. Because marriage, it will take everything from you. If you are in the wrong one, if you're not with a person who is excited about your success, if you're not with a person who wants you to succeed, who prays you through, who encourages you, if you're not with that kind of person, and many of you know you're not. I ain't telling you to go divorce nobody now. All I'm saying is try to work it out. Begin to use your mind now. Begin to use your mind, the power of the mind, in order to be able to situate things. Get to use your mind. Okay? Begin to use your mind. It says countless numbers of men and women, both young and old, permit relatives to wreck their lives in the name of duty because they fear criticism. Duty does not require any person to submit to the destruction of his or her personal ambitions and the right to live his own life in his own way. You were created to live your life the way you see fit. What brings you joy? What makes you happy? Your happiness is God's happiness. Everybody around you, what brings you joy? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? So, after cooperation, willpower, the habit of concentrating one's thoughts upon the building of plans for the attainment of a definite purpose leads to persistence. Willpower. You need to have the willpower, the will to want to do this thing, the will to want to see this thing through. Another story about Oprah, and I talk about Oprah a lot. I love her. Another thing about Oprah is that, remember when she wanted to become a newscaster? And I think she did. She did become a newscaster. And she found out that they were paying her less than they were paying the guy. We're doing the same job. Same job. And when she wanted more money, they were like, you can't compare yourself to the guy. The guy got a family. He married. He got bills to pay. She was like, what? But you know what I want to tell you in that situation is that a lot of disappointments, so my mom told me, she says, every disappointment opens up a door to your greatness. Like, every disappointment is a blessing in disguise. That's how she puts it. Every disappointment is a blessing in disguise. If they would have given her more money, they gave her more money, she would have been Oprah, the newscaster. She probably would have missed out in the talk show, probably would have missed out in the movie that she did, The Color Purple. Oh my God. And so many other things in her life. She probably missed out. But when disappointment comes, take it. Take it and you be like, you know what? It's okay. Because my blessing's around the corner. When that dude breaks up with you, girl, it's okay. It's okay. The blessing around the corner. Because the thing is, you're praying for something. You're looking forward to get into your dreams. You got to expect that things will fall off. Some people cannot handle this new life you got going on here. That's too much for them. That's too much for them. You talking different now. You walking different. You looking different. You spending different. You got to expect some people to fall off. Please understand. Don't go begging nobody back that Don said he ain't interested no more. You too, dude. If she says she ain't interested, bye. I want to sing that song. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. That's the song that came to mind. I tell you, let them go. Let them go. Let a new door open. Okay? So you have to have willpower. And the last that you need to have is habit. Persistence is the direct result of habit. Oh, Lord. You couldn't have told me this like a couple of years ago. Like, I would have told you that's okay. I don't like to wake up no 5 o'clock in the morning. Talk less of waking up at 4. I just don't, I just don't like it. It's the body, nobody, no, I don't say I'm not a morning person. I done got myself cleared with that when Kathleen said, nobody's born a morning person. Nobody's born a morning person. Nobody says, oh, and many of us will say, oh, I'm not a morning person. Where do you get that slang from? Nobody's born a morning person. Nobody's born a night person. It's what you have allowed yourself to be accustomed to, is what you have trained yourself to be. So back then, when I would hear about success and waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, for what? It is not that serious. It is not that serious. But I went to boarding school in Nigeria. I realized we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We have to be at the assembly like 7 something. Because when we wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, everybody taking a shower, put your clothes on, go eat breakfast real quick, go back to the dorm and get your books and stuff. You better be on assembly at a certain time. Let them see you lounging around. You Those were disciplines that we acquired in boarding school, but I think I only stayed in that boarding school for about 2 years. Yeah. And then we serve siesta. So when you do wake up that early, you have to serve siesta, meaning that you take a nap. Take a nap in the afternoon. Take a nap, refresh. But when I now got into my 20s, successful people wake up early. Successful people, just hearing that 5 o'clock alone, don't talk to me about success. I'll figure something out. I'll become successful another way. Successful people have certain habits. And certain habit is waking up at the crack of dawn when everybody else is still knocked out and everything is still real nice and quiet. And you get into your flow. Get into your flow. Get into your flow. You get the reading, you get the meditating, you get the praying, you get into your flow. You do it continuously, consistently, and watch what happens. I was looking for a group or something that would help me because I done fell off. I fell off. What? I be rolling that bed. I'm not rolling in bed now. And then you sleep and you get more and more and more tired. You stay in bed, get more and more tired. And then when it's nighttime, everybody going to sleep like 9, 10. You don't feel like sleeping. But you done did all the sleeping in the morning. So habits, they need to change. That's what I'm telling you, to change. That's not really the hard thing. It's not like the work itself is hard. The hard thing, yeah, change is the hard thing. The hard thing is not the work. What is hard is you trying to get this mind in check. That's what's hard. That's what's keeping people from being successful. Certain things that you need to do. Why do you think people that want to lose weight? You think many of them don't know what they need to lose weight? They know exactly what to do to lose weight. How come they're not going to do it? They begin to make excuses. I'm older now. It doesn't come off fast enough. I'm older now. Things are just not working the way they used to. I'm this now. Oh, come on. Tell yourself you are stronger than this negative thing that doesn't want you to, these excuses. You're stronger than that. Find ways. It's going to make it happen. Losing weight is 80% of what you put in your mouth and 20% exercise. Do a little bit here and there, here and there. The change of not eating a burger and eating maybe a veggie burger instead of a hamburger That's a change. Those are little changes that you start to make. You can still eat a burger, just not the same burger. You know, you tell me a person that is smoking don't know what he need to stop or she need to stop in order for their whatever it is not to get destroyed. They know exactly. They know what they know that I'm smoking this thing. I'm killing myself. They know. The hard part is the change. But then again, that's if you say it's hard. If you auto suggest to yourself that this change I'm about to make is going to be easy for me, I'm going to do it effortlessly. Yeah. This thing's going to be real easy for me. And then it's going to be easy for you. Some habits of successful people, they exercise. They get a trainer. If they feel like they can't do it by themselves in the beginning, they get a trainer. A lot of people a lot of coaches, fitness coaches, all these coaches, they're making a killing. Why? Because people need help and they can't do it by themselves. They can't do it by themselves. So begin to realize the changes that you need to make and start making those changes. Because it's those changes that's going to propel you. It's going to move you forward. It's going to move you forward little by little by little by little. When it was hard for me to start waking up like real early in the morning, I remember I was telling my girlfriend, she was like, oh, her and her daughter, they pray at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, can you please call me at 6 o'clock and wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning? She was like, but she didn't really, yeah. She thought I was joking. Until I found my mastermind group. 6 a.m. And me, I'm not going to wake up slouching, eyes looking all crazy. So I know I had to wake up earlier than 6 in order to be at the desk at 6, in order to be a part of that club. And then I realized, my God, I wake up at 5, take a shower, do everything. By 6 o'clock, I'm at the desk. I didn't pray. I didn't do no devotion. Then I started waking up at 4. It doesn't come easy in the beginning. But when you're looking at the goals that you want to accomplish and the lifestyle that you want to live, let those things drive you to do what you need to do in order to get what you want. And I'm going to stop right here. So thank you so much for being a part of my village, of my tribe. Thank you. Y'all take care now. Make sure you have an amazing, amazing day intentionally. Don't cause those things that you see to stop you from your happiness. Still be happy. Be grateful at all times. That's what the source wants. That's what God wants. Because everything else will be added to you. Be happy. Regardless of what your bank account says, regardless of what your job says, regardless of what's going on around you, decide to tell your mind, we're going to be positive and we're going to be happy. Take care.